Hi, welcome to Vegan Business and Marketing Tips for cafes, restaurants, cloud kitchens, home bakers, and chefs. If you're vegan and you either own or plan to start a vegan food business, and you'd like to do this in a joyful, peaceful, deeply fulfilling way, then you're in the right place. I'm Susmitha Veganosaurus, and I'm so glad you're here. Let's kick off this episode with an inspiring message from someone who's taken my guidance and applied exactly what I'm teaching you in this limited series podcast.
Hi, I'm Bharat. I'm planning to open up a vegan cloud kitchen in Vidyaranapura, North Bangalore. The name Zendo. So I'm a vegan chef and I needed help with kickstarting the plan, guidance regarding licensing, marketing, pricing, etc. I knew Sushmita because of Carrot's restaurant. I mean, who doesn't know Carrot's restaurant, right? So I found out that she's offering vegan business coaching online, and I figured that would be of a great help to me. So I went ahead with a clarity call for about 15 minutes or so and took up the session a few days later. It was a good 1 hour session loaded with a lot of information that I needed. Sushmita is also a very friendly person to talk to. She definitely helped me plan my business. So, yeah, thank you, Sushmita.
What kind of a vegan food business do you begin? Now, this episode will be useful to you if you're in the very early starting stages of your business, or if you're still wondering, you want to get into this field, but you're wondering how to go about it in the sense of, okay, where do I begin? How do I begin? But it's also useful for anyone who's already been running a vegan food business for a while, because we do need to consider our business format and model every year or two. Look at what we're doing and refresh things, change things. If we don't change, if we don't update, if we don't move with the times, then we'll be stuck spending a lot more money, time, effort, and a lot of it goes to waste. Initially, when Carrots was started, it was a big two-floored fine dining restaurant. The whole idea was to bring not just vegan food but also healthy, clean food. Most of the menu was whole food, plant-based. There were no packaged ingredients being used. Everything was being made from scratch, in-house, with mostly gluten-free, organic options. But over time, we realized that we had to adapt. We needed to switch things around and, one, introduce things into the menu which more people will like, and two, turn into a smaller location, because we were spending a lot of money on rents, salaries, the two largest overheads, because we had this huge place. It was with a lot of difficulty, lot of deliberation and debate among us, that we decided to make the space smaller. Instead of the two-floored space, we gave up the ground floor and shifted everything to the first floor, mainly because the kitchen was in the first floor, so we wanted the dining space to be right next to it. That helped us cut down drastically on our costs. Rent was lower because the space was half the size of what we'd originally had. And also, because the space was smaller, we didn't need as large a team as we had. Of course, we didn't want to just let people go and make them lose their jobs. We cared a lot about our team, so we didn't do that. But with the decrease in the space size, very organically, very naturally, the team size also dwindled slowly. In the sense of, as people needed to leave, we didn't have to replace them with somebody new, or we didn't have to work to convince anyone to stay back if they felt like they needed to move on to a different place. So, right off the bat, the rental costs reduced, and over time, the salary costs also reduced, and many other things went hand in hand with it, because a smaller space also means lesser overheads in terms of electricity, water, etc. So, giving our business a new avatar, making it smaller, contrary to what we believed, that, going smaller is a sign of failure. We had all these mental blocks in the beginning. We should only expand, become larger. What will it look like? People may not like us anymore. We had all these self-doubts. But contrary to any of that happening, we started doing better and better. We started thriving more, because when the space is small, even the things that required the attention of the owners, the management, became lesser, and then we could focus on growing the business instead of being involved and running it all the time, and that taking all our bandwidth, our mental, physical, emotional bandwidth. So, on hindsight, we realized that we should have started smaller. We should have started small and then slowly grown. If we had done that, we would have had a lot more of our savings in hand and possibly even lasted through the pandemic. But, that's all behind us anyway. All things happen for the highest good, so that's all right. I wanted to help you decide what size of business, what kind of business you want to start right at the beginning, and do it the right way, either before you begin or at the very early stages of your business. Now, any food business, it takes a long time to break even consistently, or to make any kind of additional income, like profits out of it. It takes quite a lot of time, a lot more time than you would imagine. So that's the very first thing to remember. The second thing is, things cost a lot more than you would anticipate. So keep that in mind. A nice rough rule to keep in mind is that you have enough savings to last you for a whole year of all the overheads, rent, salaries, your electricity, water, ingredient costs, packaging costs, delivery, whatever, marketing, right? You think of whatever costs that you have, make a rough estimate of it, and then make sure you have enough extra savings after whatever you spend, the fixed costs that you spend initially. These running costs, make sure you have enough saved up for a whole year's worth. We all want to start earning well and making profits and doing all that right off the bat, but it takes time for a business to be known, for it to grow. Even if you have a lot of funding to, say, publicize it really well and get a lot of customers in the beginning, that initial enthusiasm that you have will not last for a very long time. So have that buffer. Assume you are only going to be spending money and not really making enough money to make up for what you spent. Just start with that assumption for some time and have the buffer. When you have the buffer, you will be a lot more confident and you'll be able to take very clear decisions instead of making very desperate moves, which means that when we act out of desperation instead of inspiration, we don't do very well. So you need to ensure you feel very safe and secure. So based on that, you decide, how large of a business do I want to begin? Do you have enough funds to start a brick and mortar place like a restaurant or a cafe with a good number of team members, and you decide whether that is something you can afford to begin, or maybe a tiny cafe, with a minimal rent, maybe just 1 to 2 team members, a few options on the menu. Figure that out. But my suggestions to each and every person, usually anyone who does not already have a background in the food and beverage industry, in the restaurant industry, if you're just getting into it, like all of us did with our restaurant, start really, really small. Test every step of the way. See how you can begin as a home kitchen, do some pop-ups, be a part of special events, announce occasional meals or whatever you're making, if it's desserts and baked goods and stuff. Start really small, test out the market, get some experience, and then grow. That way, you have a very steady, slow and steady growth, but because the foundation is strong, major events in the world or anything else happening aren't going to be able to shake up your business that much. And also, when you do testing like this, you think, okay, these are my favorite dishes, so everyone's going to love it. They're so good, so everyone's going to love it. But everybody's taste, everybody's preferences, everything is different. So testing out will also help you figure out the right kind of menu to have in the long run. Slowly the menu should evolve, it should start small and then evolve, remove a few things, add a few things, and then grow according to the demand, what people are liking, yes, but also according to your capacity to manage it as maybe a solopreneur, somebody who's running end-to-end the whole business yourself, or somebody who's running it with a team of a few people or a large team. Just start small and then slowly keep testing, and then grow and develop your menu. This will help you stay stable and sustain in the longer run. I hope you've downloaded your workbook. This podcast will be most useful to you if you not only listen to it, but do the work in the workbook. The questions in there will make you reflect, plan, and get so much clarity about your business as you write the answers down. It's not going to take a lot of time, but it is going to provide great shifts in perspective for you. So make sure you download the workbook. The link is in the description of this lesson. All right, talk to you again in the next episode. Bye.